As she said, my name is Justin, and I will be taking you through just a few different types of appointment troubleshooting tips. So anytime a ticket is submitted to us about appointment issues, most of the time it is resolved with one of these settings here. So some things to check are going to be tutor schedules, reviewing the service modalities, verifying center-specific settings, and checking student enrollment, and a few other things. So I'm going to go ahead and go over here to my just like a demo Accudemia account we have set up here. So the first thing to do to make sure that the appointments are going to go as if you already have the appointment set up, something that you can check would be the tutor schedule. So that can be found under center attendance and tutor and advisor schedule. So if I just go here and select this tutor here and then apply the filters, this is where you're able to set the tutor schedule, as most of you know. So if I just select the time slot here and then mark the tutor as available, you're going to see that there's an option for courses or subject areas and then the services that they can help with. So for this, you can also change the attendees that are going to be in the session. So sometimes, let's say if we get a question that a student is trying to schedule an appointment and the tutor isn't showing up for the specific course or service that's correlated to it, the first thing that you would want to do is just go in here and check to see the tutor. And also, if you have multiple centers, you can choose a center from the dropdown before you click apply filters and make sure that they're set to work with the exact criteria that that they're intended to. So that way, that's something you can check on your end just to make sure that there's nothing else wrong from that side. And all right, so aside from the tutor schedule, something else you can check would be the service modalities. So that's going to be under administration and centers and classrooms. And these are just some sample centers we have. But if I just select this one up here, the Math Center, and go to the Services tab, these are going to be the services that we have created. And as most of you know, if you click on the service, this is where you can see the different modalities that there are. So there's virtual online appointments, in-person face-to-face appointments, remote sign-in walk-ins, and in-person face-to-face walk-ins. So another thing that could come up is, let's say a student is trying to have an appointment for a service, but it's not showing up in the appointment viewer when they're trying to schedule that. Something you can check for is to make sure that this specific service is correlating to the type of modality that you want them to work with. So I know a lot of times, especially when if anyone's using Zoom integration, they always want to make sure that they have these settings checked correctly. All right, so aside from the services, we also have the center-specific settings. So that can be found under administration, control panel, and appointments. And so, of course, there's always going to be the drop-down box here. So, and for anyone who's new to the software, not all of these options in the control panel have the setting specifications box, where you can choose the college or the center level. I know, like, I think email templates or user accounts, those are some that don't have it. But if I just go here and select the center level under the appointment section and view the settings, this is where you can choose, this is where you can set most of the settings for the appointments. So I would say a majority of any of the issues that could come up with appointments could be found in this area. So this restrictions section right here is where you can set a lot of different things, such as preventing students from scheduling appointments. That's something that could come up if you're wondering why students aren't able to, but admins can. Just seeing how far out in advance they can schedule them, or if they, yeah, so how far in advance or how few in advance. Just the specific start times and end times for those appointments, maximum hours per week, or the number of sessions. That's something else that could come up if a student does constant appointments and you're wondering why, let's say, for example, they're not able to see the tutor anymore. This is something that you can check on. There's also some no-show restrictions here. So that could be preventing students from joining an appointment after they've missed a certain amount of them within a set amount of days. So I'd say like something common I would see is, let's say like they can only miss 3 appointments within 90 days. Then after that, if you manually void the no-show, then they should be able to schedule those appointments again. There's always the duration restrictions, which is it's not really I wouldn't say that's a major issue for appointment problems that come up because it's usually just going to be set based on the services or tutor schedule there as well. And you can also set the appointment sign-ins to count to not go to be a no-show as like an early buy setting or a late buy. So let's say um, a student has an appointment, but they didn't sign in at the exact time. So it's gonna, if you don't have any settings here for early or late, then it is gonna default to no-show. You would have to manually change that. But if you can go in here and set some kind of like leeway with this, so the student could be early or late, then it would save you from having to edit any of those changes on um, the viewing of the appointment section under appointments and view all. All right, and something else to check would be student enrollment for appointments. So as you can see, I'm just going to go under administration and courses here. And these are just a list of courses we have here. We do have the code and the name, so that's why you see like the code here before the name of the class. And we did rename subject areas to be courses in our system, so just in case you're not seeing that in your system, that's going to be why. But the reason why I said to check the student enrollment is because if I go back here in the control panel and the appointment section and go under the center level, there is a section here for courses, and there's an option to check the checkbox to use student enrollment. So if this is checked, that might be a reason why, let's say a student just wanted to do, let's say like SI for a class that they're not actually enrolled in, and if they go to schedule an appointment and they don't see that there, if this option is checked, then that's going to be why, because based on their student data, it's not going to show them any of the courses that they are not enrolled in. So aside from that, I would say those are the most common things to check on for any appointment issues that could be coming up. And something else you could also check would be, this is, I guess, a little bit away from the appointments, but for walk-ins, under Manage Center and there's a gear icon up here, there is a way to enable the waiting line and having their phone number be asked when they're signing in. So that is something else that's been coming up a bit recently that just wanted to make sure that everyone knows where those settings are. And you can also change the center here on the left side, right here, and then choose from this drop down, which is going to be alphabetical unless there's a location group. So we have West Campus as a location group, so that's going to default to the top of the list. And after that, everything else should be alphabetical in order. So that's going to be about it for the appointment settings, and just some of those troubleshooting tips to go over anything in case some problems come up.